जगन्नाथ की जय, गौर निताई की जय, पंचतत्वा की जय, गौर निताई की जय, लॉर्ड वामन देव की जय, लॉर्ड परशुराम की जय, गुरु परंपरा की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय. We'll say our prayers. ओम अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for joining this morning shloka recitation and chanting session. So today we are still in chapter 11, the universal form, and today we will be discussing shloka 11.49. I'll just repeat the shloka. Ma te vyatha ma cha vimudha bhavo drishtva rupam ghoramidrin mamidam vyapita bhi prita manaha punastvam tad eva me rupam idam prapashya. Translation. You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. So here, this is being spoken by Lord Sri Krishna to his friend, relative, and here the disciple, his disciple Arjuna. So here we can see from the words that Arjuna seems to be disturbed after some, all the gory details, and he now seems to be perturbed by seeing all those ghastly features. And Lord Shri Krishna is saying, let it be finished, all that what you have seen, no more seeing of that universal ghastly details. So he's saying, my devotee, that is to Arjuna, be free again from all disturbances which were caused by viewing this ghastly display of universal form. And with a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. So Arjuna now desired not to see this universal form, but see the four-ended form of Lord Shri Krishna, and which Lord Shri Krishna showed it to him. And so generally, we want to do things which give us pleasure and not otherwise. We don't want to do things which don't give us pleasure, which give us discomfort. We don't want to do those things. But sometimes, especially when it comes to preaching in the movement, in this Krishna consciousness movement, especially in preaching, when it comes to preaching, as a guru, you would make a lot of sacrifices. You will have to let go of so many comforts, and you will willingly put yourself into discomforts, and you would accept that just so that you can take on this message, you can pass on this message of Lord Sri Chaitanya, of this Guru Parampara of Lord Sri Krishna, and our Guru Parampara and Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that is what the Vaishnava saints, gurus are doing. And one such example I can think of is immediately Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, who, in spite of repeated discomforts provided by the body, the gross body, his vigor in preaching has not stopped. He's still that enthusiastic. He's traveling in spite of all those discomforts from one place to another, from one city to another, from one country to another, just so that he can teach others about God consciousness, about Krishna consciousness, because that's what he saw his guru do that. And so that's what he knows, that once you take sannyasa, once you become a guru, you do that. And he's doing that steadfastly, without stopping, without taking rest, with full vigor. He's doing that. So just so you can teach others about God, Krishna consciousness, and because that would give pleasure to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that would give pleasure to Guru. and because we are beyond this body, your mind is Krishna conscious, spiritual, transcendental. So once you reach that state, you would not be bothered by the discomforts provided by the body, but you would do what you believe in, and that is to teach others about Krishna consciousness. That's what Maharaj is doing. And so we pray for, we take some good teachings from Guru Parampara, and we try to emulate that, at least some portion, into our lives, so we can, even if we are successful in taking some portion or fraction of those good qualities, that would mean, that would help us progress in our spiritual life. And that's what Guru teaches us, and that's what we can learn from a Guru. So thanks to Maharaj for teaching us by showing practically how to do it. So, okay, in this case, the reason Arjuna asked for Krishna to show the universal form is so that Arjuna could establish Krishna for sure as Supreme Personality of Godhead for times to come. So we know that, especially when we see news, there are every now and then there is somebody who's claiming that he is Bhagwan, or he is, avatar of Bhagwan, of Lord Shri Krishna. And especially in Kali Yuga, this is a very common thing. It has become a fashion for some people to claim, that they are Krishna, avatar of Lord Shri Krishna. Well, if so, then as per scriptures, they should be able to prove that they are Bhagwan, or Supreme Personality of Godhead, by revealing or showing the universal form as seen by Lord Shri Krishna, as seen by Lord Arjuna, and shown by Lord Shri Krishna during the commencement of battle in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So we have all these details via mercy of Arjuna, all recorded in Bhagavad Gita. And so that's how it is. One should be able to prove that. So what Arjuna witnessed in the universal form, all the gory details, all the ferocious looking, fearsome details, all those features, gigantic mouths, people or armies getting swallowed into the mouth, all those details, fire guzzling mouths, razor sharp teeth, and, you know, razor sharp nails, and all that. Um, and all this is described, and which is documented in Bhagavad Gita, especially in chapter 11. And by mercy of Arjuna, even we today also, anybody else who reads Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11 especially, can experience all that through the process of hearing, Shravanam, what Arjuna experienced firsthand in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So Arjuna is a part of a bona fide guru disciplic succession. So Arjuna is actually that binding force which restored the guru disciplic succession which was lost. So this is mercy of devotee like Arjuna, that we have this documented Bhagavad Gita. So hence knowledge we are receiving today is also authentic and truthful, is truth, because it's coming from the bona fide guru disciplic succession. So although Arjuna was both a relative and friend of Lord Shri Krishna, here during the discourse of Bhagavad Gita in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, this relationship was willingly transformed, changed to guru disciplic exchanges. Arjuna had surrendered to Lord Shri Krishna as a disciple and prayed and requested that Lord Shri Krishna eradicate his doubts as a guru. So Arjuna is a Kshatriya, but he was not willing to fight for, he had a soft corner for Bhishma Deva and his gurus, Dronacharya and others, his relatives. So that became a bottleneck for a Kshatriya to perform his duty, which is very unlike for a Kshatriya. So Krishna, he knew that Lord Shri Krishna can eradicate his doubt, and so he requested, surrendered to Lord Shri Krishna to eradicate his doubt, which Lord Shri Krishna did that perfectly. We know that in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was worried about killing Bhishma and Drona, his worshipful grandfather and master. But Krishna said that he need not be afraid of killing his grandfather. Why? When the sons of Dhritarashtra tried to disrobe Draupadi in the assembly of the Kurus, Bhishma and Drona were silent. And for such negligence of duty, they should be killed. So Bhishma and Drona, did not follow their duty. They should have saved, or at least raised voice and prevented endeavor to disrobe Draupadi by the Kurus. They should have stopped that, but they didn't. So Krishna showed his universal form to Arjuna just to show him that these people were already killed for their unlawful action. So now Bhishma and Drona are not ordinary people. They are promulgators or teachers of religion, duties. So if they themselves don't do it, what would happen to the followers? So Bhishma Deva is one of the 12 Mahajanas. And why did he act in such a way? Well, Lord is seated in everyone's heart as Paramatma, and he has his ways with his surrendered devotees, and he has his leelas, and his leelas are original and pure and dramatic and beautiful. So they are teaching us the do's and don'ts. It takes it. So Bhishma Deva surrendered to Lord Shri Krishna, and so he's part of this leela. So he's teaching us the do's and don'ts. Um, so this is very unlike for Bhishma Deva to otherwise make such a mistake. On the request of Lord Shri Krishna, Lord Bhishma Deva even taught and gave instructions to Yudhishthira before leaving his body. So later stage, when Bhishma Deva was about to leave his body, he was about to leave this world, Lord Shri Krishna, on request of Lord Shri Krishna, and to Yudhishthira to ask, pray to Bhishma Deva and ask questions. So on request of Lord Shri Krishna, Lord Bhishma Deva even taught and gave his instructions to Yudhishthira. These are very valuable instructions, again recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam, before leaving his body. That's what Bhishma Deva did. And Arjuna is very dear to Lord Shri Krishna, and Krishna happily removed all doubts of Arjuna, one by one, perfectly, as a true generous guru does. Arjuna and Krishna are eternally together in the Nara and Narayana Rishi forms. They are still existing, meditating in Sri Badrinath. So they are not ordinary people. So Arjuna is also not ordinary people, or she's not an ordinary person. And they have Lord Shri Krishna and Arjuna are always together as in a Nara Narayana Rishi forms. So thus, as Arjuna had requested to see the universal form, the universal form, Krishna showed it to Arjuna. And initially, Arjuna prayed and expressed his amazement to the universal form. But now that Arjuna had enough of that universal form's ghastly details and was now perturbed and no longer wanted to see the universal form, but now wanted to see the four-armed form of Krishna, which Krishna showed it to him, again fulfilled his desire. Devotees, like I said earlier, devotees don't want to see this universal form, but they want to see the beautiful two-handed Shyama Sundara form of Lord Shri Krishna, because forms like that, because with universal form, you don't get any opportunity. This universal form doesn't provide any opportunity to perform any kind of service by the devotee. There are no opportunities for loving exchanges in those forms. Devotees are very delighted and pleased in viewing the two-handed forms of the Lord, because there you can, for example, you can prepare and offer bhoga offering, make bhoga offering, offer garlands to the Lord. So that's how it is, and you can reciprocate. Lord can reciprocate in your heart. So this gives you pleasure, but not with the universal form with these ghastly features. You actually lose your peace of mind and focus. So another reason, at a later stage, there's another incident related to universal form. Once even Sri Advaita Acharya, during Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela pastimes, had a desire to see the universal form and of the Lord. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being Sri Krishna himself, seated in the heart of Sri Advaita, he understood Sri Advaita Acharya's Prabhu's desire. So he told Sri Advaita that he knew his desire and told him to ask any boon. That's when Sri Advaita Acharya told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to reveal the same universal form which he showed it to Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heavily showed it to the universal form to Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu. And I think he even showed six-handed form also and other forms also to Sri Advaita Acharya. Now, again, the reason in Kali Yuga, Sri Advaita Acharya requested Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to show the universal form to him first, because Sri Advaita Prabhu knew that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. And so, to establish that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Advaita Prabhu requested Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and so nobody can now say that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't show the universal form. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Sri Krishna himself. And again, that is to so that in future, if now somebody else in Kali Yuga says such a thing, they should be able to show the universal form. So that is how it is. And this would stop many people for saying that they are God. Or intelligent people who have read scriptures, they will know, if you ask them to show the universal form, they will not be able to show. Then this proves that they are hoax and they are not Sri Krishna. So that is how it is. So we have all this documented in scriptures. So again, the fact is established that if somebody again claims, they should be able to prove that. So people should read the scriptures and ask such a question if somebody says such a thing. So that is how it is. And so the discussion of universal form in this chapter would stop now, and this other details would go on. So that's how it is. So I request you all, thank you for joining this morning chanting and sloka recitation session. Please continue to do so. For further detail, the exchanges between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji Mataji. Thanks for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Amarendra Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks for the opportunity. Hare Bol.